Hello everyone. Today we are bringing you an explanation of the question bank for the RedHat System Administrator certification. Many of you might have heard of the RedHat certification to some extent. In our industry, this certification is considered to be quite valuable. Because first of all, this certification is not like other certifications that mainly consist of multiple choice or true-false questions, possibly with some practical experiments added. Our RedHat certification mainly. Or rather, to be precise, it is entirely composed of practical experiments. From the beginner to intermediate to advanced levels, all certifications are completed through practical experiments, with not a single multiple choice question. This really shows the value of our certification. It is mainly focused on practical operations, meaning you need to master our system management methods to pass our certification. Of course, there's no need to worry, as the difficulty level of the beginner certification is not particularly high. It mainly assesses your understanding of our RedHat systems. Basic management, including network management, user management permissions, and the installation and use of management software. Script management, well, overall, these are relatively simple. The only challenging part is our container management. However, we will explain all these topics in detail later on. So, this is our overview. The main content of the certification, and next we will mainly explain the junior certification. Later on, we will also cover the intermediate certification. For the junior certification, first of all, before doing these experiments, you need to have a practice environment. So what does the practice environment look like? First of all, before talking about the practice environment, you need to know what you will be using during the exam. During the exam, you will be using a RedHat physical machine, a physical system. Inside, there will be several small virtual machines for you to conduct experiments. If during practice you install your computer with the RedHat system, it is actually not convenient. So considering this issue, our practice environment is like this. First, there is a RedHat virtual machine, and then within this virtual machine, there are many nested small virtual machines for everyone to practice with. This is the kind of environment we have. So first, everyone needs to prepare the environment. Of course, for deploying the environment, we need some commands, and we also need some commands to do so. The deployment method here is for our RedHat Junior Certification environment. Note that this is for the Junior Certification. For the Intermediate Certification, we have another deployment method. Here, we integrate two sets of environments together, so we need to use different commands to distinguish between different environments. Next, we will show you how to use our Junior environment. Our Junior environment. First, let's take a look. Here first, everyone should open your virtual machine environment. After opening it, we need to execute these commands. Here, we will start the environment. Once the environment is started, you can work directly in the virtual machine or use some other remote software. After connecting to the virtual machine, it will actually be more convenient to type, and it supports copying. During exams, you can also copy and paste, meaning that some of the exam questions, descriptions, etc. can be copied into our system. This can save you some time, as some commands can be directly copied. Okay, here, this is one of our remote software options. Of course, you can also operate directly within the virtual machine. So the first step, let's take a look at this. The first step is this one. Its purpose is to reset the practice environment, because if you are doing this experiment for the second or third time, right, you need to delete the previous environment before proceeding. So our first step here is to reset first. Gap environment. Reset the link environment. After resetting, the next step is to switch to our corresponding practice environment. As for the digestion environment, we use this command because we have two environments, a beginner environment and an intermediate environment. Now, where do we switch to? Switch to the beginner environment and start practicing. The beginner environment is like this. Use this command to perform a switch. This will take a few minutes, about 2 to 3 minutes depending on your computer's configuration. Please note here, regarding our virtual machine environment. You can allocate as much as your system allows. What does that mean? Try to allocate as much as possible so it runs more smoothly. At the minimum, it's best to allocate at least 12 GB of memory, and for the CPU, at least 4 cores, with no upper limit. The more, the faster. After completing this step, next, let's take a look at the next step, where we can check the current environment to see if it is running completely. After seeing these, what next? You can see that we have set up our basic environment. Next, we need to start the virtual machine within the virtual machine. Please note that remote software is not supported, because many remote software do not support graphical interfaces. Here, if we want to start the virtual machine, it must be done in our virtual machine. Okay, now let's open the virtual machine, shall we? Here, this is one of our virtual machines. First, let's open this now. Virtualize environment. What we're opening here is the KVM console. We are using KVM virtualization here. Press Enter to open the console. This is our virtual machine console. Next, we will start our virtual machine using a command. This command is to start all our virtual machines. Start all virtual machines. Okay, you can see on the right that virtual machines are starting to appear, right? Cool. Let's wait for a few dozen seconds, and once all the virtual machines are up, our environment will be fully started. We need to wait a bit here. I'll pause here for everyone. We can also wait a little bit. Okay, here you need to pay attention. We can see that a total of 5 virtual machines have started. One is still missing. Here we need to use a command to start another virtual machine, right? In this way, our entire environment will be considered complete. Now, there are a total of 6, so there's no problem. But after all 6 are started, note, all of them are started. After all of them are started, you can take snapshots to save them. Taking snapshots is mainly for convenience, so that you can easily restore the snapshot later and start over, which is more convenient. Of course, it's okay if you don't take them, if your computer has enough space. If it's not enough, of course, it's okay not to record. Each time you can just reset and wait a few minutes, it's not a problem. This is one of our specific steps. Next, let's proceed with the following steps. Note, you must wait until everything is fully started before taking a snapshot. Make sure to wait until everything is fully started before taking it. So, what do we do next after starting up here? Everything has started up here. Then, in this part, we need to copy a file. When copying a file, we need to add the destination address to our virtualized environment. And here, we also need to execute a script. After executing the script, if, for instance, your environment encounters issues because the virtual machine hasn't started, you must wait until all virtual machines are fully started before executing our script. When executing this script, everyone should pay attention. Okay? After executing the script, you can type exit to exit. Of course, this is what we need to do in the simulated environment. In a real exam, you just start directly from the first question and proceed. But since this is a simulated environment, we need to set up the environment properly. So please understand this. So here at this point, this is the overall process of setting up our environment. Once this is done, in the next lesson, we will start specifically explaining our SWOB, Certification Question Bank. If you need the complete question bank, you can leave a comment below and purchase the most stable question bank at the best price. That's it for today, everyone. Goodbye.